Back in the beautiful city of Miami as we play along here to the 5th inning. Of course, the 2003 world champions. Josh Beckett, the MVP that year. It is great to have with us Jack McKeon up here in the booth. Nice, timely done here to have him right here, right now.
Always a pleasure to have Trader Jack. Mr. McKeon.
Thanks, buddy.
How are you?
Good.
You look great.
I feel great. Ready to come back.
And who are you going to manage this time?
No, I'll be the Marlins.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What are you doing these days? I mean, you know what, Jack? There are people in this great game of baseball, and you know every one of them, but people who are ambassadors to the game, like Tommy Lasorda, I put you right up there. You've done it all in this game of baseball.
Thank you, Mark. I'll send the check later.
But a lot of people remember you from the San Diego Padres. You did a lot of wheeling and dealing.
Brought you over there.
I know, and that's I want
what a mistake that was.
I was going to say, do you regret that?
Well, you know what? I wanted to ask you. Do you remember your first trade ever made?
Yeah.
What was it?
Kurt Bavacqua.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. No. Yeah. Traded Bavacqua to the Pirates for Luis Salazar and Rick Lancelotti.
Okay. Do you remember your last trade?
No.
It was me.
Again?
Well, and you know what? You went out on top because
God, how come you
went out?
Should have been well before the last one.
You went out on top because your philosophy was, hey, if I could trade that clown Grant and have somebody bite, I'm going out on a high note.
Well, let me tell you
Derek
something.
Lilliquist for me.
Yeah, I see Derek once in a while.
And then you went on your way.
I'll tell you what, and I say this many times and in all sincerity, and they talk about the bullpens today, you know, guys going 1 inning and all this crap, and 13, 14 relievers in a club. And I said, let me tell you something. I said, when I was in San Diego, I had Rick Harris and the left-hander Mark Davis, and I said I had 3 guys in the bullpen, 3 which I called my abusers: Mark Grant, Greg Booker, and
Greg Harris?
No.
Lefferts?
No.
Dave Leeper?
Leeper. They were my 3 guys. I could bring those guys in, and we're going bad. It's one of them nights the other team's hitting everybody, and I leave them in there for 3 or 4 innings, and they're getting smashed. I didn't care. They were saving it. They were the greatest guys we had. They saved all our good pitchers. But today, you know, 1 inning, guys. But I'll say this, Mark, you guys were the credit. I mean, I appreciate it. I tell everybody wherever I go, when they talk about the bullpens, I said, that's the way to go. Get yourself a couple of abusers, guys that'll eat it up. I'll take care of your contract time, but just suck it up.
What is your favorite memory of San Diego and your time there?
Well, I had so many fond memories of San Diego. I mean, I hated to leave. But probably taking the team to the World Series. I mean, when I took over, we never had a winning season. And Ray Kroc said to me, he said, don't even ask me what to do, just do it. Tell me later. And he said, how long is it going to take to get the World Series? I said, it's going to take me 5 years. We got there in 4. But we started wheeling and dealing. That's how I got the nickname. I just started wheeling and getting rid of all the old goats that we had and bringing in some fresh blood. And they started to, you know, perform well. And got rid of Jerry Coleman. No, just kidding. Jerry, yeah.
Here's the last out at Yankee Stadium.
Jerry always thanks me. He said, God, thank you. Thank you so much for relieving me of the manager's job and put me back in the booth.
Well, you've done your job up here.
Yeah, you've done it all, Jack. I mean, you've got a great book. You've done everything from being a car salesman and all the
driving a cab,
the odd jobs that you've had, and then you caught the baseball bug. What was your first baseball gig in professional baseball?
What do you mean by the gig?
Your gig, your first job in baseball.
Oh, my first job was playing.
Back where?
Back in
East Coast?
No, I played in my first year was Greenville, Alabama. 1949.
D-ball, A-ball?
D-ball.
Really?
They didn't have this rookie league. It was D, C, B, A, double A. Greenville, Alabama. My first year win the pennant. We're 6 games behind with 12 games to go. We win all 12.
Wow.
Tie. Win the playoff game
Yeah.
and win the pennant. My first year in baseball. And then I graduated up to different leagues. I went from then D to C to B, and then finally got smart enough and went managing. But I did. My problem was the bat.
Right.
If I could have hit those days, you had to hit. I had guys in front of me like Garagiola and these guys. You had to hit 300 to even go from D to C. And of course, I was one of the few guys in baseball that ever hit 3 ways, right, left, and seldom.
Do you miss the excitement of being a general manager and all the behind-the-scenes type negotiating, waiver wire trades type?
I don't miss it now. The way that, it's a whole lot different today, Mark, than it was, when I was there. The salaries were, as you well know, were very low. I mean, the highest guy I ever had in San Diego was Joe Carter, $3 million. And but today it's a different world. And now it's a contract. You trade. I traded contracts that were clean. Nothing. No single rule. No incentives. No nothing. They were easy to trade. But today you get all kinds of. Everybody's worried about the agents, and they cater to the agents. The agent's going to help you. It ain't going to help you. But that's when I went back managing. Is when Joan Kroc says to me, "You can't do both jobs. Which one do you like?" I said, "I like them both." "What do you want me to do?" "I want you to manage." And I really like managing for the simple reason you're making decisions every day. You're on the firing line every day.
And you made it positive, I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
I remember the day you took over. He put that uniform on, and you'd be in the dugout pacing up and down. "Hey, let's get that runner over to first base. Hey guys, let's have some fun. Let's do this. Let's do that." But you know what else? Jack was also the kind of guy that, if you needed a fire lit underneath you, he'd pull you aside. And he'd let you, say your piece, and then you part your ways, knowing that, okay, it's a clean slate. Let's go out and get them, and I'm rooting for you. Correct?
Yeah, you're being nice about it. Sometimes I raised hell too.
Well, yeah, I know you did.
Do you miss managing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't miss it, but I mean, yeah, you always miss it. You're always going. I manage every game, right here. I manage them all. I go to Rookies League. I go watch them there. But I was just talking about. We were talking about that on the
Marlins radio.
Marlins radio with television with Jeff Conine today. He's talking about. We're talking about Mattingly sitting there so calm, and I said, well, some guys do that. Some guys. He said, yeah, I remember you. You're in the first step. The guy on third. You're hollering out to the pitcher. Be alive for the wild pitch. Be alive for the wild pitch.
That's right. You never heard that.
But I'm trying to get the pitcher to hear it.
Yeah.
I don't want that. I don't care. I want this guy to be trying to hold that ball. Make sure I don't throw it. And I would get one or two every.
Well, to right, Francoeur makes the catch on a liner off the bat of Jankowski for out number 2 of the inning.
I would get a couple wild pitches out of it.
Yeah, because you wanted to get into the pitcher's head, knowing that if you throw that breaking ball, you don't want to bounce it. He'll elevate it, and then the hitter will.
That's right, and maybe get a fastball.
Right.
Yeah. But I do that all the time when I can't be quiet in the dugout.
How much time you spend at the ballpark now?
Well, I come down here about once a month.
So you make your home here in the Miami area?
No, I live still in North Carolina. I live right next door to Book.
Elon.
Yeah.
How's Book doing, by the way?
Buck's doing great. He's
Greg Booker we're talking about.
He's a Major League scout for the Dodgers. And I'm surprised you haven't seen him out there. I don't think he's out there this year, but I think he was in San Diego last year.
We keep in touch every now and then.
Yeah.
Drop each other a text.
Well, they seem to like him, and he's doing real well.
Good. Tonight is Jack McKeon Bobblehead Night here tonight. What did you think of the bobblehead? Did you think it looked much like you?
Yeah, it does.
Look at the stogie.
Good cigar.
Got the cigar.
Yeah. I have already got requests from San Diego for the bobblehead.
Oh, really?
From friends of mine.
Sure.
And they saw it evidently watching the Marlins broadcast a couple of nights ago, because they had showed it before. But I liked San Diego. That was a great. The fans are great. The fans were super out there. I mean, I had a ball.
Talk about Mr. Kroc and what he meant to the organization.
Oh, he was a super guy. He never bothered him. The thing is, you see the operations today, and you see all the interference from the front office and stuff. I worked for Kaufman. Never saw Kaufman in his dugout.
That was at the Royals, right?
The Royals. I go over to Croc. You never saw Croc in the dugout. I mean, in the clubhouse, never. Today, you don't know who's coming through there. Everybody comes through. Bookkeepers, everybody. You know, bookkeepers and these, you know, bean counters are all in there, you know. But Ray was a guy. When I first took over Ray, you know, I joined the Royals. I mean the Padres as Bob Fontaine's assistant. I was the assistant general manager. I went to spring training with him and helped Jerry Coleman and all. And then I did a tour of the minor leagues and looked at the prospects and everything. And, we didn't have many. And I never forget being in El Paso, Texas, with Bobby Fontaine, Bob's son. And we got a terrible AA team, AA team. And I said to Bobby Fontaine, I said, I'm calling your dad tomorrow, and I'm telling him, if we don't get some players, we're all going to get fired. I called Bob Fontaine the next day, and he was at the All-Star game in L.A.
Right.
And his wife answered the phone, and I said, how's Bob? She said, well, I'll let you talk to him. And he's on the phone and told me he just got fired.
Oh, boy.
I said, well, what you had hired me. I said, what the hell do I do? I said, I'm going home tomorrow. He said, well, just go ahead and do what you want. I went home, got in the house at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and Ballard Smith called me and he said, we let Bob go. We want you to come down here and take over.
Well, Jack, you're a survivor to me. You're an ambassador to this great game of baseball. Thank you so much for taking time to join us.
Hey, Mark, thanks so much. And tell all my good friends and fans out there in San Diego I still love them.
Absolutely. Sure will.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, Jack.
It's 1-0 Padres.